I describe my music as funky dance pop. I wasn't allowed in the choir when I was a kid because I was too much of a show-off. I want to survive. I don't want to be a flash in the pan. I don't want to be a one-hit wonder. I'm enjoying my music right now. I'm having a good time. What can I tell you? I'm sorry, but I'm having a good time. It's nice to know that in such a precarious business I can kind of hang in there from my fingernails and still enjoy it. And the great thing now is that it's a challenge. It's even more of a challenge now to continually surprise myself and to continually do what's right for me and not be tempted to play it safe. But now there's tons of successful female artists out there. There's a lot. When I was starting my success, there wasn't a great deal of us. There was very much a male rock and roll dominated pop and rock chart. So I kind of came along and I've managed to stay around. I mean, I don't know how to explain it other than just kind of work hard and luck and timing. Luck and timing is so important. I mean, to have been in the right place at the right time so many times in my career, I think has kept me afloat. And also being true to myself and taking chances and doing what I felt was right for me, even if it was controversial.
In this edition of Cover Story with Sheena Easton, we join the international pop rock singing star on the set of the making of her latest music video, Days Like This. Born Sheena Shirley Orr in the small village of Bells Hill, Scotland, Sheena moved to Glasgow at age 17 to attend the Royal Scottish Academy of Music and Drama and started singing in local clubs while going to school. After graduation, she moved to London, and by 1981, Sheena Easton had her first hit record, Morning Train. The same year, Sheena sang the title song for the James Bond film, For Your Eyes Only. And since that time, two-time Grammy Award winner Sheena Easton has made 7 more albums. In 1985, Billboard magazine honored Sheena Easton as the first artist ever to crack the top 5 singles charts. In 1987, Sheena wowed the television world as Don Johnson's wife on Miami Vice. And now, Sheena's got another hit album, once again proving she is at the right place at the right time.
My father died when I was 10, and my mother raised me from that age to be very strong and independent and very resilient and to assimilate changes in life and to go on. So, see, I'm the youngest of 6 kids, so there was 6 different tastes of music going on in the house at the same time, and we would all steal each other's records. You know, so I would sneak my brother's Yes album, and he would sneak my David Bowie, and then I'd steal James Taylor from my other sister. And so I had a very eclectic taste, which I think kind of reflects itself in the kind of CDs that I buy now. I never had a moment's doubt my entire life what I wanted to do. Never. I always knew. I don't know when the first moment I realized it, because I just grew up knowing that I wanted to be, we called them pop singers back then. You didn't use the word rock singer or R&B singer or funk. It was just, in Britain everything was a pop singer. And that's what I knew I wanted to do. I pursued it vigorously. I used to sing constantly. I would stand with the hairbrush in front of the mirror and give little concerts in the backyard and, you know, all those really precocious, obnoxious things that you do when you're a kid like that. When they were auditioning for the choir, I wouldn't sing like with everybody else. I would show off and kind of do these harmony lines, which I thought was harmony. You know, you're 7 years old and here's me picking out all these lines, singing really loud, you know, like, you know, just to show that I could sing loud. I mean, how horrible. But the teacher wisely wouldn't let me in the choir, telling me, you'll never be a singer with that attitude. And so maybe she did me a favor, I don't know, but God, in those days I must have been terrible. I moved to Glasgow when I was 17. I went to drama college. I got my first apartment at 17. I started college life. I started my first band. Well, I didn't start it. I joined my first band when I was 17. 17 was a big year for me. 1976. See, I'm giving my age away. I lived in Glasgow all through my college years, and I moved to London 1980, 81, and I moved to Los Angeles in 1982. The old me, which there's still a little bit of it in there, when things are going really well, I'd go, ooh, when's it gonna end? I can't get too used to this because I have to be prepared for it all going wrong so that it won't take me by surprise. And I learned that's really stupid and negative, so I learned to enjoy positivity and to expect positivity. And kind of without going into too deeply into it, but as part of my spiritual beliefs too, if you reflect positivity and think of it, it'll come back to you. I used to live in an apartment, one room. It was a fish and chip shop that was underneath me. So this was perfect because I could run home from college, run in, grab my black crushed velvet catsuit, which was very in 1976 and 77. All the rage. Just prior to spandex, I have, you know. And I'd run downstairs, go to the chip shop, get like 2 shillings worth of chips, which is a quarter, and wait for the station wagon to show up with the drummer in it and the drums, and then we'd go off and we'd do a gig. And then I'd come home, I'd drop into bed at 2 in the morning, go to sleep, get up at 8, go to college, study at college all day, and go to another gig at night. I was 19 at drama college, and I heard of the opportunity to audition for BBC. They wanted to make a documentary film about a singer. This was all I heard. So when I went along and auditioned, I found out that what they wanted to do was find a singer who was just about to launch into their professional career, who was just about to get a recording contract, whatever, so that they could film the making of a single and all the different things that go into that. Photo sessions, choosing the album cover, choosing the song, working in the studio, all those different things. So luckily for me, thank you God, I passed the audition, got my first recording contract. I was lucky that single, Morning Train 9 to 5, was released in the States and went to #1, and that launched my career here. I describe my music as funky dance pop. Has a great deal of the Motown influence in it. Most dance music has got an R&B funk overtone to it. It doesn't have a rock and roll rhythm structure. It has a funk or an R&B structure. And all of us today working in that genre of music, we owe a great deal to Motown. And thank God for Motown. I mean, I grew up with it. I enjoy making videos to the degree that what I do is I take a little bit of my own personality, add a lot of imagination, and then I blow it up larger than life. And that's the character that I take on stage when I'm performing that song or in a video. And I think that's important because videos are very demanding and very exhausting, and we don't have the budget that you have in the world of commercials or the world of film or television. So you have to try and be creative and artistic in a smaller budget, and also you have to make a film that stands up as something that's artistic and fun and good and right to look at in its own right as a piece of film, but it also has to reflect the emotional content and the feel of the music. So it's a difficult art form, and I really respect the directors and the artists that do it and get it right. Making videos, they're exhausting. I mean, if you shoot for 3 days in a row, it's 20 hours, and then 3 or 4 hours sleep, then another 20 hours, and then you finish, and then you go straight into editing, which can be 6 to 7 days. I've made some horrible videos. I've made some videos that I go, please, I should never ever have to sit in a room and have to watch this 5 times in a row. And I've also made some videos that I'm very proud of. So I've made video mistakes, and I've made, in my opinion, video successes. Hopefully I won't make too many more mistakes in the future because they're expensive. All acting is to a degree a little bit larger than life. Even the most subtle of performances, you're still stepping out. And I think that's helped a lot. I could take some subtlety lessons though. I will admit that. I'm working on it. Success brings a great many blessings. But it also meant that I had to learn very quickly how to cope with the demands of having a very fast-paced career and having to have a very international career, traveling constantly and having to learn on my feet, so to speak. I couldn't go out and do a concert as an opening act and learn and fail. Any of my failures were public. I had to learn to cope with the positive and negative press, the truth and the lies. My naivety was diminished very quickly. You became kind of worldly and streetwise. A little bit premature, I think. I had to grow up pretty fast. Being a performer and being an actress, there's a big difference. Because performing, you're just exaggerating your own self. In acting, you have to remove yourself and try to learn to think and feel and respond as this character would. I think when any actress or actor is starting out, you're really flying on instinct more than anything. And as your career develops, you start to learn more technique and you learn to polish it. Right now, I'm going on instinct, and if my instincts are wrong, I'm going to fall on my face. So I have to really take it slowly and take cautious, small roles in my acting career until I get a bit experience behind me. I'll tell you one thing that I have to say in reference to Miami Vice that's was real special to me was Don Johnson. I expected to be working with, obviously he's a major star and he, he's a major figure in television and film, and I kind of expected someone who would be just barely tolerating my presence, like, why'd I have to work with this amateur, this kid? And he was so generous and supportive and such a teacher for me, and he really helped me. Like at 4 a.m. before we had to shoot a pretty intense scene for me, it was outdoors, and I had to become very emotional and very intense at literally a drop of a hat. Okay, action, you're intense, thank you. He taught me how to delve in and find the right emotions, and he taught me the kind of buttons I had to press in my own brain, and how to sit aside and away from everybody and just work on those emotions, and that helped me so much, and his patience and perseverance helped so much. So again, it was another very fortunate beginning. Prince and I first worked together in 1984. Ever since then, I guess it's 5 years now I've known him, we slowly developed a tentative friendship through our working relationship. He liked how I sing, and he continued to send me songs. I would send him song lyrics, and he put music to it. We wrote together, and over 5 years of collaborating we've collaborated now on like 7 or 8 different songs that we've written for other people, or he's recorded or I've recorded. We've developed a respect and a trust. I consider myself successful whenever I achieve what I set out to do. That's success to me. And then the other side of success is if then what you have done is accepted commercially. And if I finish an album and I go, this is the album I wanted to make, then I go, well done, I did a good job. Then hopefully that album's a hit. Sometimes I've had things that are a hit that I don't particularly think it came off how I wanted it to. So it's a success on one side, but maybe not a total success to me emotionally. So when I find myself going, everything's too good, when's it going to end? I stop myself immediately. Best thing for me when I look over my career is the fact that I'm still here to live and tell the tale. I used to say when I was being interviewed when I was 20, 21, I had my first #1 record. So Sheena, what do you want out of life? I want to survive. I don't want to be a flash in the pan. I don't want to be a one-hit wonder. I don't want to be, where are they now? Remember this girl? I want to be around. I want to develop and grow. And so it's 10 years later and I'm still here, and I've had my failures and I've survived them, thank God. Literally, thank God. I don't know. I'm enjoying my music right now. I'm having a good time. What can I tell you? My ultimate goal is someday I'll be sitting at a dinner table celebrating 20 years with somebody. And when the time is right, I like to be able to say, I want to have a child this year, and I want God to go fine, have one. And maybe at that time I'll be married, maybe I won't. But in the future, I definitely see myself as a mother, as well as continuing to be an artist. I don't see that it has to be one or the other. My ultimate, if I'm blessed, would be to be a mother and be an actress and be a singer and be a writer and do it all at the same time.